Now we are going to talk about mistakes that you might make and you don't want to make them. Sometimes it's really good to know the difference between a gain and a loss. That's an old samurai saying of Musashi. Know the difference between a gain and a loss. Sometimes something that looks like a loss is really a gain. And that's why you want to pay very close attention to these next few things that I want to say. 1, never, never, ever use a rhetorical question. What is a rhetorical question? Well, a rhetorical question is a question that's used just for the effect. Just for the effect. It's like these other people who say, ask a question, and then it'll cause a pregnant pause, or it'll cause a disruption. Excuse me. It'll cause disruption. You don't want to disrupt the customer. Gosh, where did that ever come from other than manipulating other people? We don't want to disrupt them. We want to open their eyes to a bigger picture, always. Never use sarcasm like, you'd like to save money, wouldn't you? Or the one that I really hated. I went to this place to train these car dealerships. It was one car dealership. I've trained some that were absolutely amazing and wonderful. This one just happened to be one of those old boy network group. And they wanted me to ask this question: how do you feel about safety? Now what are your choices here? Are you supposed to say, oh, I really want my children to be safe? Or do I want to say, hey, throw them in the way back, let them make for themselves, it'll build character? So you can see that the question is sarcastic. It's made for effect only. You, of course, as a salesperson, expect the customer to say, yes, 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 I love safety. Well, what else could they say? That's why it's a manipulation. Don't use that. All right, and never ask why. Don't ask a customer why. Why do you want to cancel? Why do you want to close? Really, we made millions of dollars for Discover Card this way. We changed the question, not to why, but to what caused. Now, this makes a huge difference. Now, let me show you something. If you were to ask a question that was a mistake, you would know by the tone and the way that the customer heard the question and how they responded to it. That means you need to change the question. There's nothing wrong with them. Get it? I mean it. Trainers, listen to those phone calls. Find out what questions annoy, disrupt, interrupt, upset the customer. Find out what those questions are and change the question to make it safe for your customer or client to answer. So in the course of training, I had a chance to train Discover Card. And I started with their cancellation department, the save the sale department, what we called retention. We want to retain the customer. So what happened was they would ask this question. They would say, customer said, hello, I'd like to cancel my card. And the agent would say, cancel your card? Why? Or, why do you want to cancel your card? They would just come right out and say that. I always say, why is intrusive. Don't ever ask anybody why. Why did I wear this scarf? Well, I know why I did it, and you can probably guess. But when you ask me, it's intrusive. When you ask a customer why they want to cancel, first of all, you said cancel now. Now it's on the phone call twice. And second of all, it's none of your business. Not really. At least as far as the customer is concerned. And they would get that response quite often. The customers say, none of your business, just cancel it. So what would happen is the customer has to beg off when you do something like that. They don't know what to do with you when you say why. Why did you wear that shirt? I don't know. Parents do it to children when they steal a dime off the counter or something. They say, why did you take that dime? It's like that old joke, why did you rob the bank? Because the money was in there, dummy. Yes, that's where the money is. All right, So why is intrusive? It actually, on a retention call, it actually appears to look like the customer needs a very good reason to cancel. And he better have a note from his doctor or something. So never ask why. People hate it. Be careful of do you, don't you, will you, won't you. You can use them sometimes, but it has to be in a safe environment already. Never hedge on the price. Now, I do a whole training on money, which you will eventually get as well. And one of the things I say is always put the money in the middle. That's why you never hedge on it. Don't hedge on your money. People get suspicious of you. Suddenly that thing that you want, which was trustability, goes away because you're hedging. The moment you hedge, the other person decides you're a phony, or you're lying, or you've got something to get instead of give. Sometimes it works to tell the customer what to do before asking for the order. I like that one. Yeah. I like to say, if it's a customer I knew very well, if I were you, I would train only 10 people at a time instead of 20. Because we have to coach each one for about an hour. So it's going to be many days of coaching to get through all these people. And maybe it would be smarter to leave 10 people on the phones already. 10 people off, 10 people on. It'll probably take the same amount of days, but they will get more personal attention. Would that work for you? Or sometimes if I want them to buy something, I would say, I don't know, I don't sell much on the phones. But, not anymore, I always sold every day when I was in business. I'm leaning out now. So, but I would say something like, it would save you 20% on the price. The price is $1 per book. So you'd save 20 cents per book if you were to order 10 or more of them. How many agents would you like to buy the books for? So I opened the door to them taking the choice, and I also told them what to do. Sometimes if I know the client really well, I would say, if I were you, I would buy 25 books and have them ready for the next people that I hire so that they would have it handy and they would get onto the Llama technique immediately. And that's only 15 more books, okay? Now that's assumptive, but I set it up and I made the customer my friend, and I already got a friend in that customer. I'm familiar with this customer, not just friendly, and I tell them what to do. Or sometimes I would set up a question, since you can save time or money or energy, it's best to do this. Okay? Now the question isn't okay. But I set it up. I set it up so that they win. All right? Got it? All right. Those are the mistakes to avoid. Never ask why. Never use rhetorical, tricky questions because they're on to you immediately. Yeah. And by the way, use the llama when you do it. Listen to whatever the customer says, acknowledge whatever they say, make a comment on whatever they say and then what you want to comment on, and then ask the question. Ask an open-ended if you want, a wide explanation, and sometimes you do need that. Ask a closed-ended question if you want some easy information, quick information, short answers. Ask an alternate choice question when you want to know, do you want this or do you want that? It's totally up to you. Put the one you want second. Last, ask an multiple choice question, and when you do, set up 2 or 3 choices at a time. Make sure the customer understands that they have many choices and you're going to give them to them several at a time. Set them up to know so that they can be safe. You create a safe environment. It's a psychological safety, and they will love you. Now, it doesn't mean you will always make the sale. It doesn't mean you'll always get what you want. But it means with this principle, you cannot fail to get a chance. You can't fail. It will work when they get to be right and smart to talk to you. Okay, that's it about the 4 questions of the mistakes. I hope you got it. You can watch it over and over again. Also, if you're a trainer, I would go through it step by step by step and see if I had examples for what to do and what not to do so that I would know the difference between a gain and a loss. All right? Okay. See you next time. Bye.